I haven't ironed out all the details, but I think I'm going to be living in Sao Paulo. Yeah, I'm still not certain about where I'm going to be living, but I think it will be Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo, maybe Asuncion in Paraguay. I really miss Paraguay, honestly. I do. I love Portuguese, though. That's the thing. I love Portuguese so much, I feel like I have to choose Brazil. Because just whenever I get stuck in any Latin American country that doesn't speak Portuguese, I end up starting to resent it for speaking Spanish, which just isn't healthy. It gets really crazy, honestly. I just start trying to speak Portuguese with people there, and they get a bit confused because they have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, let's just take here. H3, Queen F3. I'm not sure if I'm playing this completely correctly. This is definitely okay. It's definitely not bad. Pretty much if they play Bishop G4, you can never be making that much of an inaccuracy by playing H3. But at the same time, is it the best way forward? Yeah, I'm going to have to double check all these things, honestly. I just don't know yet. All right, let's castle here. Castle, I'll play knight c3, b3, bishop b2. So actually, okay, it's interesting. Because I have not played b3, I have two different plans here. I could play knight c3, b3, bishop b2, knight a4, and bishop d4, where I want to get a bishop here on this square and a knight on this square, and we're going to be grooving into this. Is that what he's going for? All right, that's interesting. Maybe I made a mistake here by allowing that. Maybe I should have played b3 first. I'm not sure I really have anything, though. We could definitely take here. We're not worse. Don't get alarmed, people. There's no way you could be worse here. But maybe we're not better. Yeah, he's playing bishop d6, actually. I should have been more careful about this. I should have been significantly more careful here. I was just too busy thinking about Paraguay. I was too busy thinking about my favorite place on earth. I do love Paraguay, though. If Paraguay spoke Portuguese, it would be a home run. It would be an open and shut case. I wouldn't even have to think about it. I would be moving there. Yeah, Paraguay is just amazing. Like, everyone is just chill there, carrying around their mate. Really lovely country. I made a video on Paraguay because I went to this tournament there and I did interviews, but I have not edited it yet. Literally, it's more than a year old at this point. I gotta edit it and publish it because it's a really interesting video. Really funny. Like, for reference, the strongest person in the tournament was like a CM, like a candidate master, and it was just bizarre to them that this American Grandmaster was interviewing people. All right, here, we just play Queen F3. I don't want to trade queens, though. Let's just play Queen F5. I said I didn't want to trade queens, but what I meant by that was I didn't want to allow him to play Queen E5 and force a perpetual. Yeah, positionally speaking, I can't be worse here. You can never be worse if they have the double pawns. If their pawns were better fixed here, though, it would be slightly to their benefit that they've opened the e-file. It would still probably be more or less equal. But they would be slightly better practically. That's why in my course, in these videos, I pretty much... A lot of strange noises. This Hong Kong apartment really has a mind of its own. I guess he's playing Queen G3. I'm not that concerned about it. D3, Queen G3, Knight E2, Queen H2. I think his queen is trapped there. Yeah, he doesn't even have anything in that position. Wait, actually, maybe D4 is better. Because D4, yeah, D4, Queen G3, Knight E2, Queen H2, King F2. Oh, no, he plays Knight E4. That would not be fun. We do not want to do that. Well, wait, here, why can't I just play Queen F2 now? Now, if he wants to play Queen E5, it takes him 2 moves to get around. Yeah. Oh, he plays Bishop G3. What am I doing? He plays Bishop G3, but then... No, then I play Queen F3. He's still nowhere close. I just need to find time to play something like D3 and E4 here. Yeah, okay, so he castles. I play D3, Rook E8, E4. I definitely don't have anything to worry about there. Yeah, and this is what we want to be going for, right? Because if D3, E4, if he takes and I take, well, now he's these really terrible isolated pawns here. At the moment, he has the subway guy. He's got the classic subway guy, and subway guy ain't great. Subway guy definitely ain't great because he has a weakness on C5, but at the very least, subway guy does protect the C6 and C7 pawns. Once we trade off this D5 pawn, the subway guy disappears, and we'll have good pressure against C6 and C7. That's a deeply bizarre move. I don't understand what that's about. I guess he's playing knight g4, but that doesn't do anything. Knight g4 doesn't even threaten anything. What is this, the clown show? Knight g4. I'm just going to take this pawn. I mean, what is he going to do if he takes? All right, I don't see what that threatens. This is literally hope chess at its finest. If I take, then I get mated. But if I don't take, what does he do? I guess he's going to try knight h2. Can't I trap his queen here, though, now? Can't I play queen f5? Queen f5 and bishop g5? Okay, queen f5, he plays bishop g6. I could play queen g5 and trade the queens. Queen f5, g6, I don't have anything there. He is technically threatening knight h2. As much as I was making fun of his move, he is threatening something. Okay, if I take, he plays knight h2. I play queen f5, he takes on f1, bishop g5. Well, no, then he has queen d4 check. All right, what if I play knight e2? Knight e2, bishop moves back to d6. I take. Queen h2 doesn't actually do anything there. I run. But okay, let's think about it. Knight e2, I would love to get a better mouse, man. I'm doing these videos on like a $5 budget. Knight e2, bishop d6, takes. He could play bishop h2, and then no, he gets, yeah, he's getting mate there. Knight e2, bishop d6. Ooh, look at this, actually. Bishop f4 looks perfect. Takes, and his knight is pinned. Yeah. Bishop f4, takes. He can force my queen out with g5, but then he's weakening tons of squares there. All right, yeah. It's over, pal. This was an awful move. If he ever watches this video, let him know that, like, up until now, he played a really good game, but this h5, knight g4 idea, it just really, it missed, completely missed the shot, missed the target. Missed the bag of marbles. Missed the big kahuna. Surfed right into the volcano. All right. We're taking here. Okay, so bro's getting a little bit sneaky. Look at this. If I play queen f5, he plays knight e3. Dude is getting hella sneaky. I could take on c7, though. He plays knight e3, I play rook f3. He doesn't even have anything there. I mean, I guess if I take on c7, he plays rook c8. Things are getting a little bit frisky there. I could play queen f3, knight e5, and then queen f6. That looks extremely strong. Or even queen f3, knight e5, queen f5. His queen is practically trapped here. Queen f3, knight e5, maybe queen f6. If he plays knight d7, I just take on c6. Yeah, queen f6 looks a little bit stronger because then I can follow with rook f5. We're going to play queen f3 here. I hope he's happy. I hope you're happy with what you did. Yeah, his knight and queen just look ridiculous now. It's like they're playing a game of Twister. But this is chess, bro. It ain't Twister. d4. He really wants to put the knight on e3. I could play knight d1. I could also take. He takes rook up, queen f6. He takes on c3. This is getting pretty mind-blowing, honestly. Wait, look at this. Takes, queen f6. He plays g3. Rook f5, queen h2 check. I'm mating there if I have time, but he's just going to keep checking. But check here. He checks. I go... Where do I go? I go king d1. He checks again. I go here. No, he has check on e3. He has a draw. That is a wild game. Okay, wait, no. Sorry. Takes, queen f6. Takes, queen f6. Another thing here I should mention, takes, I just play queen f6 anyway because rook f5 is going to destroy. Okay, so takes, queen f6, g3, rook f5. He checks, I go to f1. He checks, I go to e2. He checks, I go here. He plays queen g1. I play the rook back to f1, and I'm threatening his queen, and I'm threatening this pawn here. If he plays queen e3, I play knight e2. He plays g2, I play rook g1, and I'm winning. All right, I think that does it. Yeah, all right, we're going to go for it. It's time to go. Tell Buddy to pack it up. It's moving time. Takes queen f... Yeah, this is a really nice game. It's a really cool game, honestly. He's attacking me, but he's only attacking me with queen and pawn. Ultimately, queen and pawn has to be weaker than queen and rook. I have to stop drinking so much coffee. I feel the blood pumping through my veins. I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack, honestly. Call the police. It's nice to see my rapid going up, though. My rapid is starting to grow. I'd like to get my rapid up to like 2,500, 2,600. I am a Grandmaster at the end of the day. All right, rook f5. Yeah, it goes without saying he could check and then win this rook, but it doesn't matter if I'm going for mate here. Queen g1, we'll play rook f1. Queen e3, we can just block with knight e2. Everything is going well there. Yeah, dude is out of tricks, honestly. If he takes here, I just go here and mate. This position is just resignable here. Queen g1 is his last trick, when if I play king d2, he sort of has a draw there, but even then I could just block with rook f1 if I really wanted to play for the win. I think his only way forward is he has to take. Okay, well actually he could play queen e3, knight e2, g2, rook g1. He should be dead lost there, though. I'm up a piece, and his king hasn't even solved its problems. Long term, I'm just going to break through on the g-file and then take on g5. He better push g2, right? Okay, well, if he doesn't push g2, his queen is trapped. It's definitely over. He could play rook d6, but then I play queen f5. His queen's got nowhere to go. Yeah, this is resignable. What a wild game. Really insane game there. I definitely should have treated... Oh, I should be analyzing these games. What am I doing? I'll analyze this game after. I'm sorry, guys. I just forgot about that. All right, nice. Yeah, let's analyze that. Let's look at the game review. I think I slipped up briefly in the opening. Okay, that's actually beautiful. The most I was negative 0.49. Apparently you can play d3 here. I have PTSD about these positions because I lost one game in the speedrun. Oh, actually, sorry, I didn't even lose the game, but I dropped my queen in a speedrun. And I had to fight tooth and nail to swindle the guy. Yeah, here I definitely slipped up here. Here I should already be fine. Notice we have 0.3 here. Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize he's playing for e5 very quickly. Notice he's not going to have to waste a move on e6 here. So because of that, I definitely should have had my alarm bells ringing, but I was just thinking about Paraguay. But just, South America is a beautiful place. Yeah, what am I supposed to do here, though? Castles definitely feels inaccurate. That's surprising that it's best. e5? Am I supposed to take on e5? Yeah, I think this is where I start to mess up. Maybe... I didn't like the idea of allowing him to play e4, but e4 actually wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah, if he plays e4, my bishop is going to scope this whole diagonal. Where do I put my queen here? Do I put my queen here or here? Here would also make sense to go to a6. Queen e2? Is that the best move? Yeah, queen e2 is good. I could play bishop e2. I can even still think about g4 and g5 at a time. And yeah, long term I can actually crunch on the center. Look at this. I could play bishop b2. Let's say something like this happens. I play bishop b2, d3, and then knight d2, and I have some pressure here. I'm not sure I want to allow this e-pawn. Yeah, I shouldn't be that anxious to open up the e-file, though. Probably the better way to play this would just be what? Can we open up the analysis? What do I do here in this position? Like, let's say he castles. Bishop e5? Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. Just get the tempo on the queen first. Knight c3? Yeah, and maybe long term I could play rook d1 and d3 now that my bishop is in such prime real estate. Look at that. It's shielding the e-file, defended by the f-pawn. Black is never going to have any pressure down the e-file. Yeah, d3 could also work here. All right. So yeah, that was a big mistake on my part. That was just me being distracted by South America, honestly. Like, normally whenever my opponent plays queen d6, especially if their pawn's on e7, you need to be aware of what they're doing. They're trying to get an e5 in. e5 is the best break. So he's trying to get e5 in as quick a time as possible. While normally, if he moved his queen here in other variations, then he would be wasting time. His queen is actually perfectly placed here because it's going to line up with the bishop. It's lined up perfectly to shoot a really sneaky battery down this diagonal. All right, so let's continue. So knight c3, things are getting a little uncomfortable. I just panicked here. I didn't want to let his queen get into h2. I realized that if he takes here, I would be a little worse, but I've won tons of positions like this. This still is not the end of the world. Computer says it's really bad for me. I don't believe it. Computer says I'm much worse here. I think it's only slightly worse. Definitely not the end of the world here. What you would want to do long term is you would want to reroute your knight around these squares. So you could try something like knight a4. Yeah, like honestly, look at this. Like if they play, I don't know what they'll play. Something like castle here. We play knight a4, bishop d6, bishop e3. This should be fine for us now. Even here I'm worse though. Look at that. That's shocking. h4 and knight h5 and g5. Yeah, there's still some slight issues here with the f-pawn. And something you have to keep in mind is that if you push f4 and then the e-pawns ultimately get traded, you're going to have tons of weaknesses on the e-file. Look at that. e3 is weak. e2 is always a little vulnerable. I want to push d4 in a lot of positions, but if I ever do that, e4 becomes a huge outpost for them. So if you notice, whenever I'm playing the bird, I tend to be very, very suspicious and very hesitant to trade off the e-pawns. Unless I have some clear positional advantage that I'm expecting, I don't trade the e-pawns whenever I'm playing the bird on this channel. All right, so he plays queen h5, inaccurate. I bully him into a queen trade. He castles d3, that's good. We're playing e4 soon. Rook b1. The computer's saying rook b1 is the best move. What is it talking about? What is this about? What could this possibly be about? What a strange thing. It says rook b1 is the best move, but then it wouldn't even say b4. b4 is the only justification for putting the rook on b1 like this. That's bizarre. Chess.com, you gotta fix your computers, man. This is not. The people are starting to murmur about Chess.com's computers. All right, let's play d3. So this happens h5, e4. Computer's still saying it's equal, but yeah, knight g4, it has to be a blunder. Has got to be a blunder. Bishop f4, by far the best move. If you're ever playing knight g4 like this and you don't see that it's threatening anything, you just should not do it because you're just misplacing your pieces. Knight is moving farther from the center. Black is getting into serious trouble now. Bishop f4, forcing the bishops off. Now, obviously, with just knight and queen on the board, he has no attack to speak of, and he just has tactical issues. g5. I played queen f3, queen f4 slightly. What? Is that slightly inaccurate? I was supposed to take here. I just didn't like moving my queen around the board. But apparently, yeah, I can just keep snatching pawns. I didn't realize that. And I'm covering this. He doesn't even have knight e3 here. He's going to have to move his knight back somewhere like e5. I could even just return the queen here, and I'm up 2 pawns in the endgame. Yeah, that would have been simpler. But okay, queen f3, I'm definitely still winning here. And d4, this is the last mistake. Wow, f5. Yeah, if he plays f5, takes knight e5, I should be winning here. I could just force a queen trade. His pieces are relatively good, and he's only given up a pawn, so he does have some drawing chances here. Though, as we can see, 1.4, that's right on the border. That should be very close to winning at that point. Queen f3, he makes one last mistake with d4, and now I show no mercy.
A few moments later.
And by showing no mercy, I mean I immediately make an inaccuracy. Apparently knight e2 is best. What's the idea here? Knight e3. Oh, look at this. Takes a knight f5, right? Rook takes f1 first. I'm going to play knight f5 next, or queen f6. Yeah, I have a winning attack here. Look at that. If queen f4, can I just take on h5? Queen f4, this is wild. I play queen e2 to cover e3. He plays queen e5, and then I play something like knight f5. I'm going to break through here. White is a completely winning attack in this position. Something like h4, queen h5. We're breaking through on g5. Queen could come to h6. f6, I just check and mate. Yeah. Okay, so that was more accurate. But even so, what I did has to be winning. Apparently he has to take on c3, and as I said in the game, as I said when I was playing, queen f6, I have to be winning here with the rook coming to f5. Apparently he could take, though, and play king h7. This is very strange, but okay, honestly, white is still completely winning here. +3, plus 2.6. Has to be the end of the game. All right, so takes, queen f6, g3, rook f5, and yeah, the game is just over here. Check, check. He's running out of checks. He really has nothing else to do here. He could try g2. I got to be careful here. Rook f3, and he makes a queen, and all of a sudden I'm losing. But just rook g1, and I'm going to take, and then ultimately take on g5. Has to be over. All right, so that's more or less the game. I think here Yeah, and here he resigned because his queen is just dropping.
Time to go!